Something extraordinary is happening right now in Austria, and if you're a tennis fan, you need to stop whatever you're doing and pay attention. Deep in the heart of Linz, inside the design center, a match is unfolding that nobody saw coming quite like this. Two women, one court, and an atmosphere so thick with tension you could almost feel it through your screen. This is the 2026 Upper Austria Ladies Linz, a WTA 500 event, and the opening round has already given us the kind of drama that most tournaments save for their finals. At the center of it all is a 20-year-old from the Philippines who has been taking the tennis world by storm, and a 29-year-old Austrian veteran who walked onto that court today with absolutely nothing to lose and everything to prove. Right now, they are locked at 5-4 in the first set. And every single point feels like a championship moment. Let's talk about Alex first, because her story is the kind that writers dream about. Alexandra Eala, known simply as Alex to the millions of Filipino fans who wake up in the middle of the night just to watch her play, has been on a trajectory that defies what most players achieve at her age. Just weeks ago, she cracked a career-high ranking of number 29 in the world. 29 years old is when most players are hitting their prime. At 20, Alex is already knocking on that door. She came into Linz ranked 46th after a slight dip following her impressive showings at Indian Wells and Miami, where she reached the round of 16 at both events. But a dip in ranking does not mean a dip in form. If anything, Alex looked hungry on the practice courts this week. Focused. Locked in. She knows exactly what this European clay swing means for her season. Linz is the opening act. Stuttgart and Madrid follow. And then, looming on the horizon like the mountain it truly is, Roland Garros. This is the stretch that can define a career. And Alex is approaching it with the kind of quiet intensity that great players carry when they sense a turning point is near. But before she can dream about Paris, she has to deal with Julia Grabher right here, right now in Linz. And Julia Grabher is not a stepping stone. Let's be very clear about that. Yes, she's ranked 89th in the world. Yes, she has won only 3 of her 11 matches in 2026. Yes, on hard courts this year, her win rate has been a painful 25%. Those numbers look rough on paper. But here's what the numbers don't tell you. Julia Grabher was born in Dornbirn, Austria. She grew up playing on clay. She has won 2 WTA 125 titles, both on this surface. And today, she is not just playing tennis. She is playing for something deeper. She is playing in front of her own people, in her own country, on her favorite surface, at a moment when her season desperately needs saving. That combination does not produce a passive, going through the motions opponent. That produces a fighter. And that is exactly what Alex is dealing with across the net right now. Think about what it takes to walk into an arena where the entire crowd is willing your opponent to beat you. Where every error you make is met with a roar of celebration from the stands. Where every winner your opponent hits sounds like a thunderclap because 1,000 people just erupted in unison. That is the environment Alex is navigating on top of a 5-4 lead in the first set. The mental weight of that is enormous. And yet, look at her serve statistics right now. A 76% first serve percentage. Winning 68% of those first serve points. That is not the performance of a player rattled by the moment. That is composure. That is a player who has been in pressure situations before and knows how to breathe through them. Her run to the quarterfinals in Dubai earlier this year told us a lot about who Alex is becoming. She walked through Jasmine Paolini, Hailey Baptiste, and Sara Errani before setting up a match with Coco Gauff, who was ranked number 3 in the world at the time. She did not flinch. She competed. She made world-class players work for every single point. The tennis community took notice. The doubters got quieter. And the believers in the Philippines got louder. But Dubai was hard court. This is clay. And the two surfaces demand completely different versions of a tennis player. On hard courts, Alex's left-handed serve is a weapon that most players simply cannot neutralize. She can rip the ball out wide on the ad side and watch opponents lunge helplessly into the doubles alley. She can dictate rallies early with flat, penetrating ground strokes that don't give opponents time to settle. Hard court tennis often rewards power and pace, and Alex has both in abundance. Clay court tennis is a negotiation. You cannot simply overpower the surface. The ball slows down. Rallies stretch out. Players who rely purely on pace find themselves grinding through exchanges that drain the legs and test the patience. The best clay court players are the ones who can construct a point, lay traps, stay patient through 6, 7, 8-shot rallies, and then explode at exactly the right moment. And the question surrounding Alex heading into this European swing has always been whether she can make that mental shift. Whether the aggressive, point-ending mentality that serves her so well on hard courts can coexist with the grinding patience that clay demands. Her French Open debut last year ended in the first round. That was a harsh lesson. But the great ones learn from those lessons fast. And her previous second-round appearances at Madrid in prior years suggest that the clay is not foreign territory. It is territory she is still mapping. What she needs to do today against Grabher is refuse to be pushed deep behind the baseline. If Julia gets her running side to side, absorbing those heavy topspin shots from behind the court, that is a war of attrition that plays directly into the Austrian's hands. Alex needs to be aggressive early in rallies. She needs to step inside the baseline, take the ball on the rise, and use her backhand down the line to disrupt Grabher's rhythm before it gets established. She needs to be the one dictating the tempo, not reacting to it. That is the chess match happening inside this tennis match. And right now, with that 5-4 lead in the first set, Alex is executing that plan well enough to be ahead. But Grabher is not making it easy. Not remotely. The Austrian is winning 80% of her first serve points. She has already fired an ace. She is mixing up her game, using heavy topspin to push Alex back, then changing pace to throw off her timing. She knows Alex wants to dictate, so she is denying her that opportunity whenever she can. Grabher needs to bring out the drop shot today. That is her secret weapon in this match. Alex loves to set up on the baseline and punch. If Grabher can pull her forward with a perfectly disguised drop shot into the clay, drag her out of her comfort zone, and force her to hit net approaches she hasn't prepared for, it could crack something in Alex's game plan. And the crowd would absolutely lose their minds in those moments. That noise, that energy from the Austrian fans, is not just atmosphere. It is a tactical weapon. It gets in your head whether you want it to or not. It makes your heart beat a little faster on big points. It makes you rush shots you would normally be patient on. Managing that pressure while maintaining your game is one of the hardest things to do in this sport. And Alex is doing it right now, in real time, at 20 years old. There is something genuinely special about watching a young player go through these moments. Because this is how greatness gets built. Not in the easy wins. Not in the comfortable victories on home soil in front of friendly crowds. It gets built in matches like this one, in unfamiliar environments, against opponents who are desperate and dangerous, when every point feels magnified and the margin for error is razor thin. Alex has been here before in different ways. But each time she faces this kind of pressure, she comes out the other side a little more battle-hardened, a little more complete as a player. The tennis world is watching her figure herself out in real time. And it is absolutely compelling to witness. Now let's zoom out for a second and think about what is waiting on the other side of this match, because it adds another layer of stakes to what is already a high-pressure situation. If Alex wins today, she walks into a second-round encounter with Jelena Ostapenko, the Latvian powerhouse, former French Open champion, currently ranked number 4 in the world, a player who hits the ball harder than almost anyone on tour, male or female, on a given day. Ostapenko on clay is a phenomenon. She won Roland Garros. She knows how to hurt you on this surface. A match between Alex and Ostapenko in the second round of a WTA 500 event would be one of the best matches of the clay swing, full stop. It would be an electric collision of styles, of generations, of ambition. And for Alex, it would be the kind of scalp that sends a message to the entire tour. Beating a top 5 player on clay in Europe would not just boost her ranking. It would announce her as a genuine threat at Roland Garros. That is the dream sitting just one win away. But Grabher is standing in the road, fighting with everything she has. And honestly, that is how it should be. The best version of Alex does not emerge from gift-wrapped victories. It emerges from battles. From moments where she has to dig deep, hold serve under pressure, find that backhand down the line when everything is on the line, and refuse to blink when the crowd is screaming for her opponent. She is 5-4 up in this first set. She is serving well. She is competing hard. But this match is not over. Not even close. Grabher has been in tight matches all season. She knows how to survive in a storm. She is not going to suddenly start giving away cheap points just because her ranking is lower. If anything, this is the most dangerous Grabher gets, when her back is against the wall, when the crowd is behind her, when she has a chance to pull off something that would define her entire year in a single afternoon. There is no historical data between these two players to draw on either. They have never played each other professionally before today. That unknown element cuts both ways. Alex cannot rely on any blueprint. Grabher cannot anticipate patterns she has never seen in person. They are solving each other in real time, under pressure, with ranking points and prize money and pride all hanging in the balance. 93% of fan predictions have gone in Alex's favor. The odds makers agree. The analysts agree. But tennis is played on the court, not on prediction apps. And that 5-4 scoreline is a reminder that predictions are just noise once the match begins. What matters is the next point. And the one after that. And the one after that. Alex knows this. She has been in enough tight situations this season to understand that the mental game is just as important as the physical one. Staying present, not looking ahead to Ostapenko, not thinking about Stuttgart or Madrid or Paris, just this point, this game, this set. That tunnel vision is what separates good players from great ones. And she is getting a masterclass in applying it right now. The broader picture here is also worth pausing on. Because Alex is not just playing for herself. She is carrying something bigger every time she steps onto a professional tennis court. Tennis is not historically a sport with deep roots in the Philippines. There is no long tradition of Filipino players competing at the highest level of the game. And then Alex arrived. And suddenly millions of people who had never watched a WTA match in their lives were setting alarms, checking scores, buying merchandise, and falling in love with the sport. She is not just a tennis player. She is a movement. She is the reason a whole generation of kids in Southeast Asia are picking up rackets and believing that the world's biggest stages are not reserved for players from the traditional tennis powerhouses. That is a profound thing. And it adds an emotional dimension to every match she plays that very few players on tour carry. When she wins, an entire nation celebrates. When she struggles, an entire nation suffers with her. And when she digs deep and finds a way through a tough match in Austria against a determined hometown hero, an entire nation exhales and roars at the same time. That is the life Alex has built at 20 years old. And she handles it with a grace and a focus that is remarkable to watch. So here we are. 5-4 in the first set. Two players pouring everything they have into every rally. An Austrian crowd doing their best to will an upset into existence. A young Filipino champion doing her best to remain composed in the eye of the storm. A potential blockbuster second-round match waiting on the horizon. And a European clay season that could define the next chapter of one of tennis's most exciting young careers. This is why we watch. Not for the easy matches. Not for the predictable outcomes. For moments exactly like this one. Where everything is uncertain. Where the outcome is still being written. Where two athletes are giving everything they have to a sport that demands everything in return. Alex is close. She is in front. She is competing beautifully. But Julia Grabher is still standing. And until that last point is won, this story has no ending. Stay locked in. This one is far from over.